Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Verneda Adele, your anti-racist event executive producer and guest experience specialist. And we are here with our tips of the trade every week to talk about if you are an emerging event professional, if you are in the C-suite and you are charged with the success of the events in your organization, but you don't necessarily see yourself as an event person. Or if you are branching out on your own, you have been producing events in-house and you're ready to go independent, this is the space for you. Verneda Adele, I have been producing events for over 20 years, and I'm really excited about tonight's topic, which is involving upgrading your feedback skills. That's right, upgrading your feedback skills. And why is this so critical to the world of events, hospitality, guest experience, designing systems? Understanding that in order for us to get better, we must be able to constructively give, but even more importantly, receive feedback. So I'm privileged right now. Shout out to the President's Council of Cornell Women, one of the alumni groups that I am privileged to be part of, prompted all of us to tap in with this really amazing eCornell course on giving and receiving feedback. Shout out to Professor Deb Streeter, who was one of my professors when I was in undergrad, who is the author of this course. I also want to give a shout out to Professor Cindy, who I am just loving her work. But I, as someone who is as a business owner, as someone who is interfacing with clients, as someone who's interfacing with vendors, time and time again, whether it's team members or it's external, being able to effectively communicate with others, to give feedback, but again, even more importantly, for me to be able to receive it is critical to your business success and to the success of any project. So I just want to touch on something that I thought was really cool in this process of upgrading your feedback skills. It's something called the motivation trifecta. Oh my God, thus far, this is probably my most favorite tool. Now, there are other lessons for sure. Just learning how to ask someone how they like their feedback or how they would like to receive feedback. Asking someone if they're available to have the conversation around feedback before diving in. All those things can go a long way. My personal philosophy around feedback is that it needs to be clear, it needs to be concise. It needs to come with examples so that the person that you're giving feedback to can know exactly what you are referring to. And then also come with clarity in visualizing what it will take to correct whatever the feedback is regarding and create opportunity for that person to get involved in that conversation or to provide their own solution to the feedback that you can all discuss and come to an agreement to. But this motivation trifecta, I'm like, yes, yes, yes. When it comes to giving and receiving feedback, if you can understand what motivates people, it will absolutely change your approach. So number one in the motivation trifecta, understanding autonomy. Whether you are working with a team member, junior, senior, 1099 contractors, because we've had our video that you may start building your event production business with 1099 contractors. That certainly was the case for me with production by human intonation, but also with your clients, with your vendors, the ecosystem of success when it comes to producing events, understanding that everyone wants to have a sense of autonomy. Everyone wants to have a sense of control over the work that they are producing, that they've either been hired to do, what they are coming to learn how to do. Like, don't forget about your interns, what the services that they have hired, clients, or the team that they've come to be a part of, vendors. So in every piece of your ecosystem, understanding that people want to have a sense of autonomy, and then you can provide that in the process of feedback. Number two, mastery. Everyone wants to have a sense of continued improvement. So when you have opportunities for people to gain skills, for them to shine their light, because we are not in the business of people dimming their light. We're in the business of bringing those complementary lights together, giving people a sense of showcasing their masteries and also opportunities to learn, to improve upon their skill set, part of motivation. And then number three, I absolutely love this. So first you have to have autonomy, then a sense of mastery, but most of all, people have to have a sense of purpose. So when it comes to producing events, this is just so apropos. Whether you're producing events, guest experiences, hospitality, curating spaces for interesting and dynamic creation to happen, having a sense of purpose is what drives successful teams forward. So when you are starting out on your project, make sure you take time to map out what that purpose is. Have that clarity of vision. Make sure that each person understands what their role is and how they are part of the pieces of the puzzle, and that what they do has a purpose. So tap in at Verneda Adele on all social platforms. If you want to learn how Production by Human Intonation, my team at Verneda Adele, can help bring your vision to life, whether that's producing events, guest experiences, fundraising strategy, tap in at info@humanintonation.com. Again, at Verneda Adele on all social channels. We will be back next Wednesday with another set of tips of the trade on how you can grow your event business, succeed in event production, and of course, maximize your return on investment. Until then, make sure you always tap in and let the world know how you'll use your hot sauce today.